Welcome back to our channel. Today's story is simply a mix of love and madness, so let's dive in together. With the hundreds of surveys dwindling, Fusen truly began to fall for this guy, who always made her feel at ease. With problems magically solved, Fusen looked at Boris' tattoo and eagerly mentioned wanting a couple's tattoo too. The tattoo artist started getting ready, but Fusen couldn't help but let out painful cries. Seeing his distressed face, Boris felt like, even though Fusen was determined, Boris couldn't help but walk in, urging him to stop with a worried face. Yes, it's love in action. Every slight pain Fusen felt sent Boris emotions on a roller coaster. His concern was sky high. Before long, Boris realized he almost couldn't sleep because he was thinking of Fusen. Fusen finally realized that Boris almost stayed up all night for her, but that led to some misfortune the next. To let Fusen sleep a bit more, Boris turned off the alarm, but ironically, this act almost turned their love life upside. What's wrong? You didn't see this coming. Boris hurried after her to explain, but Fusen yelled at him. Boris was stunned. Fusen's words hit hard. She stormed off, clueless about his pain. Her anger erupted like a volcano, affecting Boris. He grabbed and told the bang drums, creating a party with them. He totally ignored the calls from Fusen, not out of anger, but from self-blame. He felt guilty for turning off the alarm, and Fusen's words broke his heart, causing his emotions to swing wildly. His mood swings with no warning, plunging Boris into the pit of bipolar disorder. People with bipolar disorder ride the emotional roller coaster, their thoughts run wild, and sadly there's no quick fix. For an entire month, Boris locked himself up at home. Ever since separating from Fusen, his smiles could be counted on, but then, a classmate of Fusen found Boris and told him her mother had passed away. His heart ached, and he rushed to find Fusen. He held Fusen tightly, while deep in his heart, love was surging, thinking to himself, I truly love my daughter. I've fallen for my son, even though the manic pain was driving him insane. Seeing Fusen sad, Boris resolved to attend her graduation with a big smile, as if he were the messenger of sunshine. When he kissed Fusen passionately, it moved everyone around, as if love itself was infectious. Boris took Fusen to the park, crowned her with pristine flowers. Suddenly, music erupted, creating a lively scene. Congrats to Fusen. In an instant, the place transformed into a Hilda festivity, with everyone dancing around her, and colourful ribbons dancing gracefully through the air. Not leaving yet. Sell here. Fusen confessed everything to her dad, but he was having none of it. You're too young to get married. He insisted she focus on her studies first. For the first time, Fusen stood up to her dad, shouting, I'll do things for you. Soon the wedding took place as planned, with family and friends cheering, and they vowed to love each other for life. Under the sunset, Boris sang a song he wrote just for Fusen, and it was simply heart-melting. The music floated like blooming flowers, and Fusen couldn't hold back her tears. It was a day to remember. Yet Boris was clueless. His condition was quietly worsening. Everything didn't seem so rosy. During a chat on the balcony, Fusen casually mentioned her dad, and Boris keenly sensed her heart's troubles and decided to reach out to him. Upon arrival, he marched straight to the kitchen to wash dishes, prompting Fusen's dad to yell, "Get out of here." But Boris heroically replied, "Even if the cops come, I'm not budging." That took guts. Soon after, when Fusen came home and saw her dad getting cozy with Boris, tears streamed down her face. She knew her dad forgave her, and understood how hard Boris fought for it all. Yet that day, Boris' emotions erupted during a business deal when someone mentioned, the price is too high, and he angrily confronted them. He stormed out, but after calming down, he began to self-blame, a real emotional roller coaster. Because of differing opinions, he chased after Hader and knocked him down, but seeing Hader injured, Boris felt regret crash over him. In his haste, he tried to catch up to explain things clearly, but upon returning home, he found Fusen laughing so hard she almost fell over, while he himself was deeply engrossed in his thoughts. Boris had been forcing a smile while secretly taking meds, and Fusen started to notice something was off with him. She mistakenly thought Boris had a new crush and confronted him, but he fell silent. Yeah, how deeply he loves Fusen, how could he bear to see her suffer? One day, Boris took Fusen for a ride, and against reason, he sped off like it was a wild race. Fusen screamed for him to slow down in fear, but Boris ignored her until they arrived, and she was left in a daze. Staring at Fusen's terror, Boris froze, knelt, agonizing. What have I done? What have I done? I ruined you. He kept blaming himself, filled with remorse in his heart. Fusen comforted Boris, holding him close and saying, It's okay, I'm right here with you. But how could Boris let it go? He loved Fusen more than life itself, and even her tattoo pain was unbearable for him. So he decided to end his own life, yet on this day, he still smiled while singing a song for Fusen. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.